This is the third straight road game where we put our opponent on the foul line almost 40 times, and we keep doing that. We got no chance. It's embarrassing. And, Coastal, we got outshot from the line 43-13 or something like that. Clemson, we got outshot on the line from a whole bunch until the end of the game. Here again today, it's we got to stop grabbing and holding and the bad. We play too hard to then play so dumb, and those are undisciplined plays, and we don't do that in practice. We just we got to figure that one out. We got to fix that in the games. And you have told me that we were 3 for 17 from the three, turned it over 22 three times. That's another stat. We got to stop turning the ball over. Some of the turnovers are bigs not ready to catch the ball. The guards trying to make a play, and the bigs just kind of just standing there, not prepared. And I don't know how to fix that. That's as a basketball player, you get to a spot, you got to be ready to catch, and if you're not, I don't know what you're doing. And then scouting report. Guards need to understand what the scouting report says, so they understand what they can and can't do. But we gotta. If we had told me all that, and then we put them on the line 38 times or whatever it was, I would have told you we got zero chance to win the game. But we got plenty of time to fix things. Feels a lot better to get on the airplane with a win rather than a really hard fought loss.
Colin with the first one.
Yeah, Frank, just kind of touching on that. What's it say about this group to where all of those things can kind of go against you with the 2-1 free throw disparity there, and you guys still find a way to pull it out and win?
Yeah, this is a fun group, man. I mean, I get worked up during games, and people don't like that. I'm sorry. I apologize. It's who I am. If you still don't like that, I don't know what to tell you. But these guys are fun to be around. They're fun to coach. That's what I'm telling you. We don't do that in practice, and I don't know why we do it in games. And we did everything we can possibly do to mess up the game coming down the stretch, defensively and offensively. And but these guys are fun to be around. All we can do is go to work tomorrow, see the mistakes, try and make them a little bit better next time we play, and be excited that we got to win on the road in league play, which those are really, really hard to get.
Joe Gorcho.
Coach, congrats on the win. I know you've said it multiple times. James Reese is an elite defender in that final sequence. I think we've rarely seen someone get shut down to the point where they don't even get even close to a look. They drive the floor and just throw it away. What was about Reese on that sequence that you saw that allowed him to shut down Pippen Jr. and just be that elite level defender that he is consistently?
Yeah, I thought James was big time the whole game. He wasn't the problem. When he guarded Pippen, I thought he did a great job. Pippen's a hard guard, man. And I thought James was great guarding him. It was the problem when I put other guys on, or when he drove the ball and the guys helping, trying to reach in there and take the ball from him rather than walling up and making the pass or the shot really hard. And but at the end there, James was great. He didn't when Stack called the timeout and then made him the inbounds passer. The whole plan was don't let him throw it to somebody and get speed going straight down the court. Make him go sideways to go get the ball. And James was great there. And now he's trying to get by James. And I think it was Eric's man came up the ball screen, or Devin. It was one or the other. And then the rule there was it's an automatic switch. But the guy guarding the screener, you can't be 10 feet off the screener because then Pippen's going to worm it and get in there. But that guy did his job too, and luckily he never got the corner turned, and clock ran out.
Michael and Anna?
Frank, it looked like in the second half especially, Jermaine kind of got into the flow of things a little bit more, but was scoring a little bit. I know obviously he hasn't practiced a lot with the injuries. Just what did you see out of him, and do you feel like he's getting closer to being what you want him to be and what he has been in the past?
Yeah, Jermaine and I have been through the ringer together, man, and he's a really good dude, and I'm purposely, that's why I left him on the court against Auburn in the second half. He's got to get up to speed, and that's not a knock on Jacoby Wright. Jacoby's our point guard right now. That's not a knock on Jacoby. But his first road game in the league, we're Florida State. I left Jacoby in there, as I didn't have another choice. Today, I made a decision to go Jermaine, and Jermaine had 2 layup him and Keyshawn had 3 layups that they got to make, like down the stretch in the last 3-4 minutes of the game. You to win on the road, you have to convert those layups. You can't miss. And but him being aggressive is something that was really good for our team. And when I made the decision to go zone, he's a bigger player, so he does he creates more difficulty for the offense when we're in the zone.
Cam Gaskins.
Hey, Frank, what does a win like this do mentally for the team after a tough SEC opener against Auburn, coming on the road, winning in a place you guys have had a lot of difficulty winning in the past, knowing you got another tough slate of SEC games coming up ahead? What does this do just mentally for the team moving forward?
Yeah, this is a confident group. I mean, we've won a lot of games this year. We're 10-4. We had that long layoff before the Auburn game, and the first 15 minutes of the game killed us. This it's good to win. You don't. I told the team is, and we got older guys that understand things. Whether they've been here or not, they've been through it. You can make some mistakes from a 1-loss standpoint in November and even December, and you can overcome it. You start losing 1, 2, 3 in a row in January, you create an uphill battle trying to get to the finish line. And so going on the road off a loss is not something that you ever want to put yourself in. That's why winning home games is so important. But these guys are great, man. I've told you guys from day one, they're fun to be around. They care. They play with a purpose. We play really hard. Playing hard is not a complaint from me anymore. We got to stop turning it over, and we defensively, we got to stop fouling.
Alex Jones.
Frank, you mentioned after the Auburn game that you wanted to see more from your bench, and today they responded scoring 30 points. Just how goes it for you to see them respond the way they did?
Yeah, they were a lot better. We need Devin Carter to play better for us. I think that's no secret. My patience with him wasn't very good today because he made freshman mistakes from a scouting report standpoint, and he's got to learn. But we need him to play better. I thought Brandon played better today than he did against Auburn. Josh gave us some good stuff in the first half. I thought that Chico helped us. It's Jermaine, Keyshawn's doing some good and then some bad. We got to eliminate the bad. We got to find a better space for Keyshawn, and that's my job to give him clarity on those things. But our bench has helped us win a lot of games. They had a bad day the other day. I'm not surprised they bounced back and played a lot better today.
John Whittle.
A lot of points in the paint this game. Seemed like every time you needed a bucket, you went down low. Was that a point of emphasis going into this? Did you see something from Vanderbilt's interior that y'all thought y'all could exploit some?
Yeah, that's part of the plan because the way they defend, John, they're so help conscious on the perimeter that means that defenders have to be connected to the ball and the guy that's either screening or cutting next to the ball, which then isolates post-ups. I thought we were hit and miss on that. I thought we took advantage of those opportunities, and Wildens and Josh gave us a presence at the rim. And then from the guard play, I thought as the game went on, because of us trying to utilize our big, it created some opportunities to convert some layups. Coming down the stretch, Jermaine has 2 layups and he misses them both. Keyshawn has a layup and he misses it. When you're on the road, man, you got to convert those plays. And then we got to figure out a way to get to the line. Because what you just said, I thought we did get the ball in the paint today, and we still don't shoot free throws. We gotta figure out a way to get to the line. We lack of free throw shootings, and lack of free throw shooting is a problem for our team offensively, and putting guys on the line too much is a problem for our team defensively.
Colin.
Yeah, Frank, just kind of sticking with that, where are you in terms of your comfortability with your offensive squad right now, and how close are you as you clean up the turnovers and fouls to being what you want from an identity standpoint and execution standpoint offensively?
Yeah, it's a never-ending journey because every player is different. Jermaine and Keyshawn are completely different than Jacoby and Eric Stevenson as players, and trying to figure out the spacing, the action, for lack of better words, that we're trying to create for certain players, and then everyone understanding the differences. That's the journey. When you've got, a bunch of first year guys, even though our guys are older, which is awesome, they play really hard. But the understandings of the different philosophies for the talents of certain players, that's and then when you got Jermaine and Keyshawn have missed so much practice time, it makes it hard because Eric and James and Jacoby and Chico, we had to create a way of playing with them on the court. And now, Jermaine and Keyshawn are back on the court and they got different talents. So, we're having to adjust some things, and that makes some other guys kind of stand around a little bit. So, but it's all good. We'll figure it out.
All right, we got time for one more. Last question goes to Joe Gorchow.
Yeah, Frank, just with this team, I think it's rare to see 10 guys in a game get double-digit minutes. Just how do you work just the different lineups and see which guys work better and stay connected better together on the floor? And what does it say about this team that these guys are so engaged throughout, no matter who they're playing with, to have this type of effort and just the amount of guys playing so well together at different points?
Yeah, they're all in, Joe. They're all in. They don't care about some individual playing, who's playing and who's not playing. They're all in. They want to win. And when I tell you guys that these guys, and I use the word healed me, that's what I'm talking about. They're selfless. They come in every day, and they just, that's why I feel bad for Jermaine and Keyshawn, because the injury bug has hit both of them, and it's hard. It's hard. I don't care how many years you're in college. If you miss 4 weeks of practice, you're not going to be ready to roll at a high level in these kind of games. But these guys have been great, man. They've been great to be around. They do it to win. They practice hard. They care. They pay attention. They pick each other up. They don't blame each other. So it's we're what's that, 10-4? Is that what that makes us? So, we're 14 games into the journey with these guys, and I don't see that changing. I think that's who this team is. And we're going to keep pushing that pedal to the metal and trying to move forward and continue to grow.